Now here's the situation. This is a sump pump area I've got. And as you can see, I put the double sump pump in for a reason. I travel a lot, so if this one fails, it's going to reach this Big Daddy up here. And Big Daddy's got a check valve and everything in it, but that's where she's going to do is it's going to pick up the difference. Now, today what I did, don't look at that staining right there, people. That's going to get all scrubbed off with some muriatic acid next summer. I did put this vent pipe in at the top. It's like a vent line. The vent purges off. Here's what I installed today. I had some scrap pallet lumber, and I ran it up to the box sill. And I really had a temporary setup over here for years, and don't ask me why. I got busy, okay? But you're not supposed to run extension cords through the house and use them as a permanent setup. Even though I've done it, don't do as I've done, do as I'm telling you. Don't do that because you have a potential for a fire hazard. So what I did was I needed, I had an old outlet up here that actually had a wire coming down and the end burned off of it. And there's a good reason why you shouldn't do an extension cord. It had like from this outlet box right there, I had a actual piece of extension coming down, hanging down, and it connected the sump pump to it, and it actually fried the end. The sump pump burned up and it fried the end, and that would have been a possible fire, but we caught it, thank God. But anyway, what I've done here is I've installed these two in series outlets. Okay. Oh, there we go. Look at that. We got lucky. Got to see it kick on. And the situation is I needed more than one outlet. I needed a couple. And I even have an extra one there if I need to run a service light down or a shop vac, okay, to clean out the bottom of the crock pit or whatever. But this is I'm going to tell you something. It's bright in here. And the reason you're seeing that bright light right there, let me step back. I have basement lights, but look how bright that is. That is an $18 Harbor Freight LED light. Okay? And it just really, don't look at that concrete mess right there. We're going to fix that. We're going to pick that up tomorrow. I'm on vacation, people. But this is what people do that have a lot of projects. You have to take your vacation just to catch up. But there's the situation. That was my boiler lines coming in. As you see, they sweep right down. And they go out the house. And this is that line. I don't know if I showed you that, but look how nice. That line is as cold as a cucumber. But over here, that's 180 degrees. With this one here, look at that. You lose no heat through that dense insulation right there. And that is dense. Don't let nobody fool you. That is closed cell. But as you see, I put the bell around it. Okay. And here's the deal. Last year, I turned around and I put this pass-through right here. And that goes outdoors, as you can see, through the concrete. And that's for like a pass-through for my electrical cord to plug in my generator phase box. Okay? It plugs in here. And then tonight what I did also, I couldn't take it no more. The cable guy really jerry-rigged these wires. So what I had to do, I don't know if you can see this, but up above here, this ground wire, how I tucked it in all nice behind the panel, okay, and brought it down the side and secured it. He didn't do that. Secured it. He didn't do that. This was all just flapping loose. It just bothers me to see stuff half-assed like that. Now, my brothers and I, we built the house. And we did it right. We did it nice. As you can take a look at these wires. This is the type of situation when you do things with excellence. That's how you do them. not just leaving wires floppy and flappy. So I had to secure these coax cables up here. And the same thing here. I zip tied these coax cables and put transit loops in it. I put another, you see that white tie there? I got that locked in. I got it locked in there. Okay, and here's the other thing. See that ground cable right here? It wasn't even tight. Okay, you wonder why the internet's in and out. But, and he didn't even have screws in this. He just had this whole assembly just hanging there. So I had to come down and screw that together. And the reason I did all that is because I ran this wire right here, this yellow one. I ran that one down, and that ties into my GFI. Okay, but that's the situation. I built a small ledger here. This is for the 200 amp entrance when you have to hook it up to the generator. But yeah, that's the deal there. And I had Culligan come out today, okay? And what they did was, I could tell that the system wasn't working right. It wasn't using any salt for the softener. I could see the level wasn't dropping. They came out and they tore it all apart, and they said, "Oh yeah, you have a couple orifice-sized plates that where the salt brine is supposed to spray through and treat the water. They were all caked up." So it really wasn't their fault. The situation says that I travel for work. Everybody knows that, and it's just been a couple. Usually they come out once a year and they service everything, and it's just been, you know, with everything going on, it's been a couple years since they were able to get out here. Now I did have them ship me in a filter, okay, and let me bring you over there and we'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you, because it's easier for me to show you, okay, than to just talk about it without you actually seeing it. So here's the situation, okay. Now over here, if you can see this, there's a little valve body here, and now that I've seen how he did it, he just unscrews these caps. There's a little diaphragms in here, and he pulled them apart, and you know, I would have took some carburetor cleaner to him, but he just blew through them and scraped them with his fingernail and cleaned them up. But he tested everything. I guess this is like the chlorine brine adjuster or whatever, okay. And this was what I'm talking about last year. You remember I did a video on this clamp setup, but I had that filter shipped into me. So I know the filter's right, but this Iron Soft Plus, here you go. I'll show you what we got here. You see the level of that salt? That's not snow cones, people. That's salt. Okay, and it hasn't dropped. So that's how I kind of knew the situation was it wasn't working. And we were starting, I have all bone white porcelain sinks and fixtures in my house, and they started to get this little rust stain in them again. And that's exactly what happens when this system wasn't put in before. We started to get a rust staining. It's not that the water's bad. We've tasted the water. It don't taste bad. It's very nice water. It's just got iron in it, okay? And if you know anything about iron, it likes to leave orange residue. But when the system's working correctly, you don't have that problem. So here's the other thing I did. I wound up running this tonight too. I ran this setup here. It's a double gang. Okay, and the reason I did that is, as you can see, I have an extension cord actually been supplying power to this for the last 10 years. Now, I tell you, don't do it like that. So this is why you can have an issue with this. And I've just been lucky all these years. It hasn't burned out the cord and started a fire. But that's why I ran this tonight. And I used, if you can see the yellow line, that's 12-2 wire. It's heavier gauge. As you see, I run it down, okay? Now, here's the other thing I want to explain to you people. Don't get confused just because you see all white lines. You think, oh, what'd he use, 14-2 in his house? No, bitch. 20 years ago, they didn't have the yellow. That's all 12-2, okay? Don't judge my panel. Don't judge my beam or my wiring. I can tell you right now, there's a lot of people that can't do it that nice. You know, and it wasn't just me. It was me and my brothers, so. I mean, you take a look at that and you tell me. Now, that was a yellow line there I had added in later on after I built the house, and that orange one, that's for the washroom and dryer room. But there's a couple upgrades I have to do, so I have to tie that in. I have the wire ran, and what we're going to do is we're going to get this baby right, and if we don't get it right, you run the risk of having a problem. And I'm not in the business of having problems. I'm in the business of having easy, smooth progress, okay? So we're at the compound, we're doing the work on our vacation, we're making it happen, and I'm happy. You know, I'm happy. Oh, well, don't let me forget. Hold on. My sponsor here. RC Cola. Royal Crown Cola. If you've never had one, you don't know what you're missing. Royal Crown Cola. Better than Pepsi and better than Mountain Dew. And it's definitely better than Coca-Cola. That much I guarantee. All right, people. This is Bry. I'm showing you the electrical upgrades. I'm showing you the work I put in. It's a bright light. And it's ready to go. I feel it's safe and at ease now that I know I have a backup system that's wired properly. All right, this is Bry. I got to get on down the road. I'll talk to you later.